And we're back.
And
we're back.
The world doesn't even know. They don't even know what's about to happen.
Freaking Total Wolf's wife works in some capacity with the FIA, and apparently she knows of some rule regulations beforehand, and they said there could be pillow talk that she tells Total Wolf about it, and he gets a leg up on the competition. And of course, Christian Horner and all his boys are in an uproar about it. You know.
I mean, listen, it's a perfect therapy for marriage to actually have something to talk about, something in common. Because think about it, who the fuck wants to be married to Toto? So they're probably so miserable.
That guy?
Yo, women love Toto.
Dude,
love him.
Toto.
I can't even imagine their conversation. So they probably only talk about Formula One being the reason that she's in it. So there's got to be some inside information that she gives up.
They all have inside information.
I bet you it's real deep inside, real deep. Toto's at 6'4", 6'5". Dude is insane, bro. Yo, Toto Wolff. The first time I seen Toto Wolff, he was like, you see his stature. He's tall, good shape, freaking multimillionaire. Learn he's such a crazy entrepreneur. He actually owns part of the team and everything like that. And I'm like, this guy must be slaying it. Then I find out he's married. He's like, he screwed it up. He screwed it up. And then another thing was like, I lost mad respect for him recently when he was talking about, he's like, change your fucking car. Like, no, you change your car. Checo, he's cutting it. You could almost see his voice crack when he said that. And he went from being like Arnold Schwarzenegger to me to being freaking Bruno, like Sacha Baron Cohen. Like DG, Dolce & Gabbana, hello.
You gotta be abused.
That was the weakest Toto I've probably ever seen.
Mm-hmm. I haven't looked at him the same ever since that day. Ever since that day.
Corner was so poised. He was so poised and relaxed that day in that meeting. I mean, it was on camera. Like, it was such a staged event, and Christian Horner was just chilling. This guy couldn't even help himself, Toto Wolff, and Christian Horner just abused him.
Yeah. He kept pointing out, but Checo's been saying the car has been bouncing, and he's just like,
it's fucked. He's like, what? You're talking to my drivers now? Like, what are you talking about?
And I love, did you see if you read the room, you could see the change of guard. When everybody looked at him and then everybody looked at Horner, like you could see like everybody, like Zach Brown and everybody is like, this guy's bitching. This guy won 7 championships in a row. He's backed into a corner. Look at his colors. He was no longer we'll beat you. We'll go there any day, any track. We'll beat you. No, it wasn't. He was just like, you talk to Checo. You see if his butt is okay, and everything like that.
He even called Christian a windbag last season because Christian was in that position.
And then did you see the makeup? Did you see the makeup? Them in Abu Dhabi taking a nice little selfie. Together, him and the wives, they were like all chummy. And then also when we came out of COVID, they were like, they saw each other. They were like long lost friends. They were like, oh, that's him. There he is. They saw each other from across the paddock. You got to see the video. And they're like shaking hands. Yeah, we're back at it. Because, freaking everybody was not doing shit during COVID. So,
yeah.
Oh, Toto.
Oh, by the way, another thing is, I don't know if you guys know. Well, Anthony definitely knows. Toto Wolff has got to be up there in one of the best names, next to like Champagne Papi, Baja Panties, and Toto Wolff. He's the Vagina Lobo. You know what I'm saying? Imagine having that name.
My favorite is Mike Crack. No. Wait,
dude, I can't keep a straight face.
Mike Crack. The guy who just retired, Franz Toast.
You call him Franz? No, you let off good. Mike Crack is every time they say Mike Crack.
Mike Crack, but they had a whole thing about him, retiring and stuff, and the only thing I could think about was I just want French toast, bro. I want fucking French toast with cream on top of that shit. I don't know. I just don't.
You let off. You let off pretty good with Frank. Should have kept Mike with the Mike Crack, dude. Every time they say it, I can't even say it with a straight face.
Mike Crack is not as popular.
You know what? Another thing. If we're jumping to there, so he's the team principal for Aston Martin, and I think it's what a fucking road that they've been on this season, which is insane. Where their car was freaking phenomenal, and they're like You know, they're like, just wait, we got some upgrades. We got some upgrades, and ever since, every upgrade has been worse and worse.
Because well, they went from what, 7 to 5th, so they did something right, but they lost out to
But
McLaren
not
this year.
They were second. They were second. They were like literally just behind Red Bull. And
well, yeah, what to start the season?
Yeah,
Alonso was the only thing saving them. Stroll fucking he started.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. I think
with a broken hand.
Yeah, he started. He started with two broken hands or some shit like that.
Yeah,
he came over like this. He's like walking around the paddock with his hands up like he was going to perform some surgery.
Just imagine if they had a good number 2 to Alonso, how much better they could have actually done.
Yo,
yeah, I secretly think that's what happened. Okay.
I just can't help but think about the article that came out with that news that they got it with more inside information before. Which was it? This last engine, right? This new engine technology that
the 2026.
No, I'm talking about
engine regulations.
8 years ago, when Mercedes that came out, they got that inside information, and they started developing their new car, their new engine, like what, a year or two before it went into effect. They had like 2 years on everybody, and they made like the best car that dominated for fucking a decade, basically. And now
they made
the new
upgrade, going to what you were saying. Mm-hmm.
They couldn't do it. They couldn't do it again.
I think it's because it wasn't engine related. I think what's crazy is they relied too much on having the advantage. So they made the engine and they knocked it out the park. They split the turbos. Nobody else split the turbos, and their engine had more power, best reliability. It was ridiculous, and everything became secondhand. So the aero didn't have to matter when you got the fastest car, no matter what. You can make up the deficit. And plus, they had $300 million to develop it. Like Toto Wolff said this year, like if it wasn't for the cost cap, they would have just thrown that car away and made a new chassis, a brand new chassis, and would have been just fine. But they can't do that anymore. And I think, like that engine, just like when you're that good with the engine, like you could make a bunch of mistakes. You could screw up strategy. And then you also have Lewis Hamilton, so it hides a lot of deficiencies of the team, as you can see now. Like now you see them struggling. Sure. Like they don't know when to pit. The dude was out there by himself in that, what was it, Hungarian Grand Prix? Out there in the middle of the fucking screw, just the only time in like F1 history that's ever happened. And he's like, oh, it's a good Toto? Like, it's ridiculous. They left him out skating across. They let him skate across that track. And then, of course, we have Esteban Ocon win a race, which is horrible. This little weasel shouldn't have won a race. Now every time they introduce that guy, every time they introduce him, he's race winning Esteban Ocon, which is I'm sure Alonso loves that. Yeah, Gasly. Well, he got one too in Italy.
Yo, but Gasly,
dude, I cried when Gasly won.
Dude, you bring up Alpine because Gasly, I think he deserves way better. Are they favoring Ocon over there? They're both Frenchies, but I feel like Ocon, I don't know, Gasly's always just complaining about stuff. I mean, he's been complaining since AlphaTauri, but he's been complaining about the Alpine, and it just seems like retarded over there. Like, excuse my language.
I think he's complaining. No, he's complaining that. No, it's all good. He's complaining because they're leaving him out there. Right, and he's in a better position, Ocon, and they gave the preferred strategy. They gave him the undercut, I think, in Vegas or something, and they told him to stop. Like the team told Ocon to not press Gasly, and he still did it, and then he was left out to dry. So he feels a certain way, but I feel like they're gonna move towards Gasly more than they're gonna be towards Ocon. I think Ocon, he's good, but I don't think you build a team around him. That's just what I think.
I don't know, man. Those Frenchies are very strange.
I thought they would fight way more, dude. I thought they would fight so much more. It's just that they didn't get a chance to.
No, they were fighting each other more than anybody else all season.
Yes.
Every race, they're fighting each other. They're like, no, they're gonna let them go. Nope, they're wheel to wheel. The last was Abu Dhabi. They were exchanging places, and because they didn't want to give the place up, they went back and forth like 2 or 3 place swaps. But whatever. I mean, that's Alpine's business.
Yeah. Yeah, Alpine don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're all like, I got this 5-year plan. They're selling you a dream. We're going to compete for a Constructors Championship. They don't even know who runs the team. They fired like 3 guys, and then everybody's gone. The engine sucks. It's the one with the least power on the grid, and they make it. Like, they're the only ones to blame. They're the only team. And that comes as a, I don't know if you know this, but like it's a detriment to them to not have a customer team because it gives you more data, more engines out there, more data you get, the better you could do, the better the source is. You could see if they're doing something different with their cooling systems and all that bullshit you get, but they can't. And there's a huge corporation, they're a works team, and they can't get their shit together. They cannot get their shit together, and they're in the middle of the pack. Like blah. They're the most mid team you could think of is Alpine.
Mid. The kids say mid.
Mid. The kids say mid. Exactly.
They're mid.
So that means Alpha's got one foot out the door already.
Who's that?
That means Alpha's got one foot out the door already.
They're done.
Alfa Romeo?
Yeah, Alfa Romeo. Are they?
Yeah.
No. They're Haas. Alfa. Next year it's going to be Haas Alfa Romeo. Just to give you, just to let you know.
Out of here.
Alfa Romeo. Yeah, and then Sauber is going to be Audi.
Ooh,
I gotta check it, but it's supposed to be.
Is that 26?
Alfa Romeo is going to Haas. No. Alfa Romeo is 100%. That's it. Alfa Romeo is out. Yeah, they're just gonna put their name on the car. That's it. No, they're just putting their name. That's all.
That's what.
Because Sauber is their own team.
And
Gene wants to split the bill. He wants to go 50-50 with somebody.
The Raging
and I don't know how Steiner. Yeah.
The Racing Bulls or the Raging Bulls? What are they called now?
It's basically insert your company name here. That's basically what they're saying. It's like, yo, we got Danny Rick right now.
AI generated.
He's a popular guy.
They probably put it in like ChatGPT.
Even the commentators
I doubt that.
they're like, whatever they'll call it for now. Like
that's a ChatGPT name, bro. That's an AI name. It's like what do we name my Formula One team?
I think it was just a bad job on the PR department.
And then there were worse names out there. It was like Hugo Boss or I forget what type of other racing team. Yeah. But they're going back to black and white, which is pretty cool. Because the first time they came out black and white, AlphaTauri, and then they went to white and blue, which I didn't like as much, and then they continued that. I like the little splash of red, people, when they got that Orlean sponsorship or some shit like that. They put red on the halo. But other than that, it's whatever. But if you want to talk about Alfa Romeo or the Sauber team, fucking Bottas, like, dude, I couldn't. I was watching the race. No, I was watching. No.
He took
Danny Rick's coming later. He's on vacation with Order, dude.
Yeah, he is.
He's in the news. Yeah. You want to hear? Yeah, you want to hear the news about that? We'll skip to it. There's a clause. Apparently, there was a clause in his contract. As soon as he gets called up to Red Bull, he's going to make 3 times as much money, and they could do that because everybody is on a Red Bull contract, so they could swap him out whenever. So whenever they get tired of Checo, boom, he's in there. So it's already negotiated. The shit leaked recently, so
it's already done. Forget about
I don't know what's going to happen.
It's been done. Checo is probably I don't know if they even let him start the season at this point. Because
at some point that whole relationship got broken when that whole thing with Monaco came out, and a few races later when Verstappen's like, "No, I have my reasons. You know what? I'm not going to help him."
Exactly.
Should have been fired right there.
Since then, his Checo's spirit's been cracked. He was out.
How dare you? How dare you? Am I crazy? I'm like, you crash
when he's spun out, and the telemetry showed it. They showed the spike in the thing. The telemetry showed it, spun it out. Then Carlos fucking gathered him up just for good measure.
The throttle there. Nobody.
So my point being,
and then he did it again. I'm sorry.
No, so I'm just saying my.
Yeah, my bad. Then he did it again. He did. Sorry. He did it again. He crashes the car. They lift up the car, and everybody gets to see the fucking floor. And it's like, my guy, like, this is a top secret. Could you stop blowing up the fucking crashing the car? It's ridiculous. My bad, Ant. Go ahead.
No, bro. I think he just checked out ever since then, because then after that, I think he was just trying to make up for it and be this special fucking driver and trying to, compare to Max and, live up to the whole Red Bull thing. But, bro, it only caused him more and more problems. And then, you got the, social media and everything else getting into these drivers' heads, I guess, and just reporters. Bro, he was checked out a long time ago. And, Red Bull kind of has a way of making you feel that way too.
Sure do.
Like, Red Bull's like,
they
hey,
put the pressure on.
What happened? You finished fourth? Oh yeah, hey Danny, come over here. Come here, say hi.
They didn't let him sit. They're like the mean girls.
Yeah.
You can't sit with us.
100%.
We ordered extra food today. Come.
Yo, watch when you see them go over there and be like, yo, we're just getting a seat fitting. Don't worry. Danny's just coming in. He's gonna be dressed in all Red Bull shit, can in his hand. But you're here. You're good. We love you.
Just testing.
He's just sitting in the seat in the car. Like,
see how he looks.
Verstappen's car's in the shop. He's gonna be test fit. He's gonna test fit in your car.
It's like the guy
that's a huge. Yeah, that's a huge story.
You're right.
Bro.
Yeah, don't worry about him. Don't even he's not even here.
Nah,
Danny.
No, he's got a huge entourage. No, but I still love the part where it's like he goes and tests the car out in Silverstone. And before he gets out the car, like the third lap, they're like, yo, get Nick out of here. Call him up. The guys are like, Marco is like, you're done. Yo, how's your break? Listen, I canceled a ticket. Don't worry about coming back, dude. You could just, wherever you're at, you just stay as long as you want.
Just fucking stay
That's
there.
crazy. That's fucking nuts. And that's the thing we don't, like, all the teams see this shit. Like, all the times, they have so much data and everything. And then to just do that in like 2 laps, and they're like, yo, get this guy out of here. We got to sign him on. We got to see what he does in the circuit, not with our car. And I'm sure they're testing and feeling out Danny Rick, which it sucked because he was limited to 5 races this year. And he still didn't end like 20th. He ended up like 17th or something in the Drivers' Championship. Another big news. The person who came in 21 out of Logan Sargent, I believe. Logie just got a contract. Did you hear this?
He's an American hero. He's an American. He's a
sensation. He's American. He's trying to be a savior. He finished 21st out of a 20 grid people, because the 2 people that came in. No, what happened? Nick DeVries was 20th. He didn't score a point.
Yeah.
Had a cup of coffee. Left fucking F1. The other guy was Liam Lawson, and he scored some points. Yeah. Liam Lawson came in, and he did some points. So this guy's 21st. He racked about, I would want to say $4 million.
A little over $4 million.
I think it's the most. $4 million that they could have used on actually developing the car. And that's why he didn't get shit. Every time an upgrade came out, I was like, oh, Alex will have it first. And don't worry, it's going to get there. And then he's just putting it into the fucking wall every fucking time. And it sucks. It's bad. Like, we want an American driver, but we don't want to see that shit. Like, hopefully, I don't know. They're just being nice or something. If that was Red Bull, he would have been gone by the 4th race.
Hold on a second.
I don't know.
Who the fuck says this guy's American? You ever hear him talk? He has like an accent. He has like a Dutch accent or something.
Nah, he's Floridian. He's
a good old boy.
Flow rider.
Bro, I don't know what kind of speakers I have. Every time I hear Sargent talk, he sounds like he's from a different country. He's trying to speak English. Like, it doesn't sound English to me at all.
Speaking of that, it's so refreshing to hear like an American speak from our side, because there's nothing like in the way. Like, you get it. Like, there's some people who are like, from Germany, or they have an accent, or Yuki Sonoda or Joe Guan Yu. That's understandable. They're trying to be English. But like the English one and everything, it just feels like extra. Like, we take it around the corner and it just looks mad forced. Like they're adding extra shit. And when they talk to Logan Sargent, he's like, got to do a better job. This and that. The car wasn't there. Boom. Next. It's not full of like, I don't know. Like the whole accent just gets in the way. Anyway.
I'm gonna have to download clips of this guy, because I feel like I've never heard him speak English properly.
I never really
like he has a. Maybe I have.
You know why? You know why?
He's never on the.
When they do the post race shit, they're last because they come in way far. First they got Verstappen, maybe Leclerc, maybe Sainz, maybe all those teams. And then a half hour later, they get to fucking Logan Sargent and the people who didn't finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a question. In
Go
general,
for it.
I've asked these before, but we're on record now. Shit's real now. What do these Formula One teams want with these two drivers on their teams? What do you want?
Which
you
one?
Want Danny Rick back, Red Bull. You want Danny Rick back. Let's just say you'd want him back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Why wouldn't you want him back? I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. Why wouldn't you?
Oh, God.
There's no reason why you wouldn't want him back. Marketing standpoint,
it's just
amazing driver.
They want a second driver. What do they want in a second driver? Do they want him to?
Oh,
like, what do they want in a second driver? And that goes for every team. Because I still don't know. I don't get it.
To pull a toe, to defend. But
yeah,
it's impossible like it used to be.
Strategy.
They want Bottas. They want a Bottas, bro.
The thing is,
that's what they want. They don't want somebody who's seriously challenged the number one.
No, but
a guy who qualifies well. The guy never qualified outside the Q3 ever in Mercedes ever. Oh, actually, even I think in Williams.
Hey, get it out.
It's fucking ridiculous.
I'm just saying.
But he's trash.
Cars used to be a lot harder to pass. That's why the second driver was always used as a little blocker. Look at Bottas. Bottas was always in second place, but he was defending the first.
He's helping his guy out. Though.
Yeah, but that's when Hamilton's strategy didn't pan out, or there was a little, issue or something. Bottas held his own, but don't forget the fucking car. George Russell could have won a world champion. Look at Rosberg. Rosberg won a champion. He's like, fucking him out. He had equal machinery.
I have no idea why he did that, but he said the kids and family. But
Russell.
All right, so the whole thing with the second driver, like I was saying, now cars are just so easier to pass. You can't defend. What Checo did for Max, the first championship, the whole controversy, you can't do that again. Not in these cars, because you'll fly by on a DRS or just the way the car
still could. You still could.
It's easier to pass. You don't have to deal with that dirty air and stuff. I remember cars not being able to pass so easily. They used to get caught in the dirty air so much more often.
No, you're right. But they learned so much now with the thing. Like the first year, it worked out really good, and then with the second year coming in with the new regulations, the teams are smartening up and they're putting a little bit more dirty air, and it's harder. Even Sainz mentioned it. It's harder to. It's almost getting to the same level where you can't do it before. But you could block the shit out of people now. You can still block them. But in the slow corners is where you could really, screw people up.
But the thing is, going back to what Frank's saying, like Frank's point, like I guess the second driver just always gonna be like your bitch. That's my point. I don't see how in favor to try to be world champion.
But every team, they're constantly bumping heads. I understand strategy, and every team has their strategy for both drivers every single race. But both drivers want to win. They're racing. They're racing each other. Russell came in and Mercedes I'm going to be part of the team, and I'm all for the team. But you can see he gets annoyed. Yeah. Race in and race out. He's getting annoyed. He's trying to be part of the team and part of doing the strategy, but he's still wants to win, man, and he has the pace over this guy once in a while, and as the signs, and they want to win, and then it conflicts. They're conflicting constantly, is what I'm trying to get at here. The second driver is always they're not always worse than they're not always a Max and Checo. It's Leclerc and Sainz are pretty much neck and neck. I mean, they were right. Russell was doing just as good as Hamilton.
Yeah, they were the closest. They're the closest in the points. There are 4 points, I believe, in difference. So they were the closest ones.
It's really annoying.
Sainz outbeat Leclerc this year, I think, in points.
He did, right?
He's considered the number 2. Yeah.
I think so, because he had a lot of DNFs.
He was definitely up.
Yeah, you got to confirm it. I think Leclerc had a lot of DNFs. Obviously, spinning out fucking Brazil didn't help before the even race started. But speaking about
I stand
Russell,
corrected, actually, Leclerc finished in
he beat him by 4 points, right?
6.
Yeah.
That's that last.
So getting back to Russell, do you think it's funny? Russell gets on the thing. I think he's a freaking go hard. First of all, who the hell stands like that? He's holding up the walls in the intro. That shit is hilarious.
He came in there,
and he
like,
gets
I want
on
something different.
He gets on the
different. Let's do something different from everybody else. All right, do whatever you want. I was like, you want me to hold these four balls?
Do you got Yeah. Just hold.
Oh,
right?
God.
Does anybody got a fan in here? I'm growing out my hair lately, and I just wanted a nice flowing thing. You think you got
maybe
a fan?
A little air in my. If I catch some air in my hair, it'll look cool. It'll look,
Exactly. It'd be dope. Give me a nice little latte.
I want to like Russell,
but
I really do.
So
he got
Russell,
out of the car. He jumped out.
I do. Me too.
That time, who crashed and he ran out and he checked on him and he. Russell, who crashed that one race? Was it 2 years
Joe
ago?
Guan Yu. He went out. Joe Guan Yu, Silverstone. Joe Guan Yu.
Silverstone.
Remember, he flipped over the fucking barrier. They flipped him.
That was Russell because he started on what?
Yeah, dude slid on the top. He slid on the top and then bang, went right off the fucking thing into the spectator.
Right now, Russell's like, wow,
that shit was
this
wild.
Actually, he's like, he cares about people. He's out here, checking on people, getting out of his car, but.
That and Grosjean crash was something I'll never forget.
Oh, the fire!
How about
the Grosjean?
He rose out of that
Which
fire.
one? Grosjean?
What was it what was it? 47 seconds in
guy
fire?
sizzled his hands.
Maybe more.
A minute. Hand.
Yeah.
He got out of the car.
All right, but I have a question for you. So you were going back to the whole driver 1, driver 2, right? Now they're in the garage. They have their own teams. They have their own engineer. They have their own crew. Now, have you guys ever been part of a work team where you're like, fuck, I'm stuck with this fucking guy today? You ever been part of a team where, Frank, you ran a fucking team before, excuse my language. Yeah. You ran a team before where you're like,
I'm sure that's how Haas felt about fucking Mazepin.
So check this out.
No, I'm just saying, to your point, you imagine when Mazepin comes up and you're like, oh, fuck, man, this guy.
Now, what if Sainz is in the garage, right? And he's looking at, Leclerc's, hey, guy, he's like, this fucking guy, he's my guy. What if, there's, there's competition between the drivers. Are there competition between the engineers? Because they set up the cars differently. No. So there's one engineer telling one driver, then the other guy, you can improve here and there. How come they're not on the same page? Obviously different driving styles, but the whole driver 1, driver 2 thing. I feel like there's a whole there's a whole team 1, team 2 in the garage itself too.
There's 2 teams with every team.
Well,
and that's fucked up. And
I don't agree with it.
I don't agree with it. I've been saying
that's not how it goes.
It's 2 cars per team.
You should see how
we do the eye test. We fucking do the eye test. I know you're technical and shit. Juan's our technical director.
No, but they don't do that.
Juan, you are the technical director.
No.
He is.
They don't do that. Everybody, the drivers decide. Look, if you want to get into that, what happens if I see something, and the drivers will say this too, they'll see some shit, they'll be like, yo, there's some speed here. They ain't going to share that with the other guy because that's their main competitor. So they're not going to share tricks around the track. But the engineers, all the stats, everything is wide open. It's not like they could hide it. So it could be like this. Yo, you're fucking trash at corner 3. You should see this shit, the graphic of the dominance of the track between fucking Stroll and Alonso. It's one color only. Alonso just dominating.
Yeah, I know exactly.
But other ones are yo, you're losing speed in 4. Talk about Danny Rick. He's looking at the thing. He can't get the car right. Can't get it settled for him. They're like, yo, he's beating you here. He's getting more speed in, and then he's getting more speed out. And they try to, to adjust to the driver's liking. But all the data is shared, and these guys don't want to get fired. They don't want to do a bad job. Yeah. So they're all one team, one unit. But the drivers won't share. Yo, you know what? If you actually hit that curb, it won't unsettle the car. So you can actually hit that curb, but they're not going to share that and be like, yo, homie.
The only person on the grid that's doing that is Alonso with Strulovich, trying to give him every information.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Tell him to use my setup. Tell him to use my setup.
Yeah. Exactly. He did that. And then he's like, don't attack. I was like, he's like, don't worry, I'm not going to attack. It's 1 point. What the fuck am I doing here? We're 9th and 10th right now. I ain't going to pass him. So it's dumb. But getting back, I wanted to talk about Russell before we got off of him because he had a hilarious. I thought it was fucking hilarious.
It looks like you're dropping juice. I'm sorry. I've been thinking. Yeah, you've been thinking it the whole time.
No, I have not until you just.
Do you want me to stand up more?
What are you popping a squat? What are you on a bucket? You look like you're on a John.
Maybe I need a taller. I'm on a regular. Yeah, I'm in a regular chair, I guess.
Your balls have been on my face.
So it looks like I'm leaning over.
Your nuts are in my face.
Cold, guys, so excuse me. I'm all fucked up.
Next time I'm gonna get a taller. Setup. That's it.
Are you in
let
like
me just
Gio's
adjust
closet?
here. Then. A chair.
Oh, you're saying
a number chair is easy, bro.
It's your own room there.
I'm gonna go hustle and flow. I'm gonna go like hustle and flow and just like put the fucking things all over.
I'm getting
have the microphone. Get a
my
little.
My shit's gonna be hanging like this.
Yeah, it looks like a penis.
It's gonna be hanging like the fucking your barber's nuts hang right next to you when he's giving you a tape up. Like, yeah, how's your day? How's your day? Okay, good.
No, I'm gonna have that swinging arm thing. I almost bought it, but I was like, let me just chill for a second. But I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
I want that bitch hovering over me.
Well, like fight night type thing.
Yeah.
You guys want to talk about F1 for a little bit, or you guys still good?
Well, we don't have to talk about Formula One the whole time.
Yo, so what I wanted to ask you guys about is, like, do you guys not think, like, all right, so after a championship is won, is there any hype? You guys feel like there was any, like, excitement? Like, yo, Giants or somebody wins a Super Bowl, there's going to be a parade, there's going to be, like, hours of partying, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like F1 just does a bad job in general of, like, just, like, yo, like, the last race of the season, Mercedes overcame Ferrari, finishing second. Is that not a big deal? Like, I had to go like find out what happened because of like family things I couldn't watch. I had to go find out what happened because like it was not on social media. There was like no hype about it. There was no like shows or parties. It was just like, all right, done and dusted. Let's move on. Like, I just think they're way too serious. I'd like to see more like like I want to see more like excitement. I want to see more Super Bowl like atmosphere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about that.
No?
If you leave it to Max, it'll be straight business.
It's hard when the champion the champion won.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
you know what? To your point,
something else. So, like, what the fuck? We're gonna watch the rest of the season with no other joy. Like, there's a bunch of other stuff that the teams are playing for. Let the fans feel it. You know what I mean? Like, let's do something bigger. Like, bro, the season's over. Everybody's tuned out. Like, what are we watching for? Yes, we watch because we like to see who finishes mid-table, but I don't know. I just feel like those after shows, like the post shows and stuff like that. It's just so like quiet and subtle. Like, bro, these guys are like half dead doing an interview. Like,
it's because we're here in America. We had nothing yet.
There's
no programming
yet.
Yeah, there's gonna be.
We have F1
like
TV. Well, we have
Apple
F1 TV. I'm just saying, like, it's just dull. It's very dull.
The broadcasting rights, right? Apple TV is like they're maneuvering to buy it, aren't they?
I would hope so, but
I
don't know. But I think that's the most un-American thing ever, Anthony. You're gonna give people participation awards at the end of the season, like, good job. Fuck that. It only goes to the number one guy. Trophy. Everybody's upset. Like Ricky Bobby said, if you're not first, you're last. No fucking, you did it number two. Just throw a guy on his shoulder and fucking walk in the distance.
No,
fuck out of here.
Maybe I came off wrong, but like my point is, let's say a record gets broken, or all right, how about all these bowl games, all these meaningless bowl games? They have a championship game. They put them on ESPN. Bro, they didn't win the state championship. They're not number one in the country. You know what I mean? But, they show some excitement in the sport. Get people to come in, view it, get teams, get fans for certain teams and stuff. You know what I mean? I just like to see more of that stuff.
Well, you should.
Because
you should talk to Ferrari about that.
Ferrari didn't get enough credit.
Because they didn't let Leclerc. They didn't give Leclerc. No, you know what happened? They didn't let Leclerc do donuts. They were going to celebrate at the end of the year. They all fucking do donuts. He's like, I'm going to do some donuts. They're like, no, the fuck you not.
I was like,
put it on recharge. Yeah.
That reminded me of
Schumacher. Dude. They're like, no, you're not.
He's like, all right.
This
fine.
happened.
Wait, this was
if we were fucking a legit thing, I would enter the video here of them telling Leclerc, no, the fuck you're not.
Get out of here.
Bring the car in.
Leclerc's like, okay, I do donuts. Leclerc's like, okay, I do a couple of burnouts. They're like, no, please place car in the grid.
Are you serious?
No. Swear to God, they shut him down. They shut him down.
They should have said, okay, Charles, you do it. Signs, no, you go home, you fucking bitch. You fucked up our championship because he's the reason we didn't finish in second. But it doesn't matter anyway where you fucking start testing in wind tunnel, right? I mean, it makes a little bit of a difference.
I just love
it's better. Who cares? They get a little bit more wind. It's true. They get a little more wind tunnel time. I'd rather get more wind tunnel time. If you're not, like I said, if you're not first, you're last. It's just dumb. Yo, and to your credit, Anthony, you're right. You know how shitty it was this year that Max Verstappen sealed the championship in a sprint race, my guy.
Oh.
In a sprint race.
Yeah, that's
he
right.
won the championship. He locked
that's
it
right.
in a sprint race.
That's absolutely.
And then what are you going to do? You can't just celebrate too much because the Grand Prix is supposed to be the belle of the ball. So then he goes in the next day like, hey, there's the champion.
It's dull.
And then when you dominate like that, you win it mid-season. It dulls out the rest of the season. It's not like it was before. I think everybody got used to that shit in the 2021 season. And everybody's, everybody's on like, yo, is this every year? Because this shit is dope. And it's like, no, actually it isn't. It's actually
last year.
Everything in F1 is dominance.
Max didn't even know he.
That wasn't even bad.
Like, no, we think you did it. No, you're done already. Like, no, did I? Yeah, I thought you. Like, all right.
It was in Suzuka, and it was in Suzuka, and it rained, and they had a special system. If a race doesn't go the full length, it's like half points here, this many points here. They got to get their shit together. They were like criticized like crazy, and he wins it. He's like, oh, he won? Oh, okay. Like he doesn't give a. He's a psychopath. He's an absolute psychopath.
Max doesn't care. Max right now, he's already in a simulator probably. He has like fucking 87 hours in a simulator already clocked in right after the season, the last race.
Just on Twitch.
He just races.
He's all business.
He just races all the time. Hey. How good is it to turn on and know that you're fucking the driver that you root for? Your favorite driver is just gonna win every race, like hands down. It's like barring something nuts.
I know that feeling.
He's just gonna win. The Michael Schumacher days.
It was a better time back then.
That was before us. That was before
for Ferrari.
Let me tell you, it was almost guaranteed 1-2. Like every soccer like newspaper, like I would like read online or pick up my father. It was just always Ferrari 1-2 every Sunday. It was insane. But it's also kind of like I just don't like that anymore. I guess.
Yeah.
I like to see.
Ferrari doesn't like winning either.
They don't like to see it either.
They keep,
I think
the drivers are out there doing the. I think everybody just goes and has an espresso. As soon as this race starts, they're like, all right, that's it. Well, after 52 laps, they'll come back in because they're doing their own strategy.
Front left wheel man, bro, is definitely either taking a shit or watching soccer games during those pit stops because that guy's always late.
About when they came out with no tires.
That's the one. It was in the front left.
They were no tires.
Okay.
I don't know if it was a front left, but the front left guy was like a pace off of everybody.
Ferrari didn't have.
It was like, where's the tire? You have the tire. No, I'm bringing the jack.
And then from not knowing even what tires to give the drivers, they're asking the drivers to not even bringing out tires in general. Just
you told me to bring in the jack. He's on there. I don't know what jack is.
He said, get the fucking tires. No, not the tire. I jacked the car. Where's the wheel gun? It was like, oh, God.
Hold on. Didn't Ferrari just this year get the guns that show them when the tire is actually secure? Like the green light, like the Red Bull.
The lights, yeah.
The lights. Bro,
like,
we got a new light, Frankfurt, sir.
Was that Ferrari's wheel gun that got ran over?
Huh?
Was that Ferrari's?
Oh yeah,
they didn't move out of the way.
Yeah, it was. Checo ran over their wheel gun.
A wheel gun in the middle of fucking nowhere.
He's just a fucking menace, Checo.
I think that was on purpose. That was on purpose, bro. That was a little like, let's see if we could give him a puncture.
That was an Italian job.
That was
call that an Italian job.
That was an attempt of puncture right there.
That was an Italian job.
That's nuts. Yeah, did you see earlier you guys were talking about the pressure mounted on social media and shit about Checo? Checo raced like we did in Gran Turismo back in the day. The guy was just horsing people. He just throw his nose of the car in, not give a shit. He spun out like Bottas. He hit fucking McLaren the other day in Abu Dhabi. He's just like reckless with it. And for him to get another drive, it will be amazing.
I think he was leaving it all out.
I think
it got to a point where it was like all or nothing for him, and he just wanted to just fucking balls to the wall, just like
yeah. Especially in Mexico, it's like I thought he'd move out the way. I thought I would just take the corner, like
5 seconds.
Boop.
So long, Checo. When you're home,
I think he was done. He was done. He was done. He was retire the car.
Yeah, that was
another one. They had him retire.
Remember, they were about to bring him back out for testing or some shit.
No, they brought it. What was the other race? Oh, in the Dutch Grand Prix. He does that shit and he like fucks up his car. They're like, we got to retire the car. But then he got a penalty, or he was gonna get a penalty for spinning out Bottas, and they're like, "I get back in the car. Get back in the car. We're gonna do a lap."
Yeah,
we're gonna serve the penalty, do another lap, and then you're gonna retire the car. And dude, this shit happened. Like this shit happened. The guy won 2 races, was talking that shit that he had to take it down. At the beginning of the season, they were going 1 for 1 on the wins, and the only reason he was losing, or number 2, was because of the fastest lap that Max Verstappen. He's like a ball hog about. And then he's talking about, he put on social media future, like in Spanish and shit, like people don't know Spanish.
We don't need
I'm going future world championship.
Max
Fucking
like, all right.
Helmut Marko had like a bat phone. Hold on, you got to take that down. You take it down. Or Jos Verstappen probably was looking at him with daggers in the fucking pit lane. Like, that guy's a fucking psycho too.
Max was like, "What was the fastest lap?"
The guy's the real Dominic Toretto.
We don't need to do it. We don't need fastest lap. Just chill.
No. What about
finish the race? He's like, "All right, hold on."
Just bring it in. Pit practice. It'll be good practice for the pit crew.
Yeah, exactly. When you're winning like that.
Fucking 28-second gap
to
second place.
You're
almost hitting second place as a back marker. Literally.
I had a Russell story for you guys. So Russell, not a story, but tell me how you feel about this. This goes back to the championship, the 2 and the 3, like you were talking about. Russell gets on, and like just like you said, what's the time? He's like, how's Lewis doing? And they're like, he's having his own race. And they're like, what the fuck does that mean? What do we got to do to win this championship? And he's like, fucking go hard. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? You know, like, dude, the guy should have came on and be like, well, listen, you want this to go better? Like, you know, there's 3 seconds between you and Leclerc. You want to do something about that? Huh? He's not going to like go back and like slingshot Hamilton. Like he gets on like he's such a go hard. It's off-putting.
Yeah.
You know, like, what is he doing? No, obviously he's doing it. It's like, dude, why don't you?
It's doing too much.
There's a 3-second gap. You want to do something about that? You see that little Ferrari, the red one? It's getting smaller and smaller, bro. You want to do something about it? Or you want to worry about fucking Hamilton in the back, dude?
What about when he was chasing Leclerc?
It baffles me when he gets like that.
Yeah, he was chasing Leclerc and he crashed out. What was that? And that was big. That was
no,
he crashed out.
It was Leclerc. There was one where he crashed out chasing. No, he was chasing. It could have been another race. Who knows? No, he was chasing the McLaren. Remember, it was Sainz in first, McLaren in number 2, and Sainz backed up just to give Norris the DRS.
That was
and it was in Singapore. It was in Singapore, and he hit the side and fucking went through.
That's when Sainz won the Grand Prix.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when he.
So Sainz is winning.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, no, Sainz is winning the race, and then he knew that the Mercedes had a better strategy, so they had fresh tires. They were on the attack, and unfortunately for fucking Lewis, Russell was in front, so they didn't do any team orders, so they're flying through, and so Sainz deliberately stays back a little bit to keep giving Norris DRS so he could fight him off. As they're fighting, they're not fighting for number 1. And this guy tried to open up the corner, and he goes to the right, and he taps the wall, breaks his front, suspension, goes straight into the wall. And then Russell's like, and then Hamilton just goes right on in. It was just a fucking cakewalk, and then they just finished 1, 2, 3.
That whole race, I remember Sainz being like, "Oh, don't worry, I got an extra 3 seconds in my pocket or something like that." He was like trying, like the Ferrari, even though they're in front, bro, they're not just in front. Like, there's always a struggle, no matter what. They have to make you shit your pants. You know, they can't just be like, "Yo, let's
because the strategy sucks."
It's terrible.
I just wonder what they do. Like, they're
any news right now in Ferrari?
There is news. Apparently, they're going to give Leclerc a huge contract. Reportedly $50 million or euros.
Wow.
$50 million a year. They're going to double it up. He's going to have the longest. This is rumors. He's going to have the longest contract in. Actually, it's probably the same as Verstappen. They're probably going to match it to Verstappen's contract. Because they got to keep him. He's fucking frustrated. I would too.
It makes sense, but they gotta make a better car.
Yeah, they got to do everything. I trust in Fred Vasseur, because they say, Ferrari does well when a non-Italian is in charge of the team. So hopefully this will work good. Last time it was another Frenchman, a forget his name right now. When the Schumacher days, it was
was it Gene?
Well,
what do you think about Piastri? Had a pretty good season with McLaren.
Amazing season. He did well. There were some learning curves.
Rookie of the year,
dude. You didn't even know he's a rookie. He didn't act like a rookie. He wasn't putting in the fucking fence all the time.
No,
it was pretty good. I love how he talks about.
Who was he looking on with that?
How he handles himself.
Crash. Remember, he was in the pit. He was in the garage looking on. And somebody crashed or something, and he was just like, "Oh shit, who was that?"
No, I forget. It's probably one of the worst people. I don't know. Man. Probably Stroll bending it again.
I can't remember, but he, like you were saying, he just didn't act like a rookie. He looked like he's been there before. I like the kid.
Yeah, Piastri.
Yeah, he's fucking fantastic.
But McLaren actually like surprised me. I thought they were gonna be shit. Like they started off really bad. And
but you know what the thing about? Yeah, they sucked. They
started off.
The thing about
they got it together though.
Yeah, they started off bad the first 2 years. But you know the thing about McLaren, which you got to give them credit to, is they told you. They were like up front, like, yo, you know what? Before the first race, they're like, we fucked up. We went completely the wrong way. So we're stopping it right now. No upgrades for quite a while until we figure this out, because we will. And then they put the first upgrades in Silverstone. And that's when they got they would have got 2 podiums, but Piastri dropped back a little bit. But they had like a 2 and a 4, I think, at that time. But they're realistic about it. I heard today, Mercedes don't know what the hell's wrong with their car. Like, it could be one way this time, then the next day it's good. And then last year in Brazil, when they won the race, that was the worst, because it sort of proved no, the zero pod does work. We just need to keep at it. And then this year they started, and Hamilton was irate. He was like, yo, we need to go the Red Bull route. Please, somebody listen to me. And they finally did. And
he was saying that in public, they're not.
He was very
not the way
to me,
Yeah, he was
very listening to the drivers.
He's like, like that Kevin Hart, help me, help me, help me, my guy. Oh man, 7-time world champion here. Help me, listen to me, dude. But they didn't know what they were doing. And
you remember Drive to Survive when they go up to the car? I think it was Alonso who walked up to him. He's like, the fuck is that? He walked up to Russell and straight up, and they were looking at the car. They're like, okay.
No, how about Russell's like, oh man, it looks fast. You remember Russell's like, oh yeah, looks fast. Yeah.
No,
remember the thing is like,
came up, he was like,
we're putting a target on everybody's back. Everybody has a target.
Yeah.
We're going to put a target.
Yeah, that aged real well.
I love that shit.
That aged really well.
Yeah, it's fucking. The guy's like, we know the car is shit. Just drive it, Lewis. We know it is shit. Stop. Should look in. I'm trying to fucking watch this thing. We could talk about it. The Braun GP one. I'm trying to.
I watched it.
Log in and we could talk about that. Yeah, I haven't watched it, so I gotta watch it. You guys both watched it? You guys both watched it?
Which one is it?
All right.
Braun GP.
Well, you share the code. Yeah, Braun GP, I believe.
It was actually really interesting. I didn't know Mercedes bought.
Wait, that's on the F1 TV, the documentary?
No, that's on.
No, it's on Hulu.
Hulu.
Oh, I got
Hulu.
It's really good. I thought it was really good. It gets a little boring, but.
No, I love it. I want to see it. I want to see what's up. I already followed that story. It's a pretty sick story. One and done.
Can you imagine?
He bought the team for like $1 and shit.
Team came out of nowhere and made a few little changes and developed their car. And
that was Bronson, right? That was Bronson's team.
Yes,
Richard Bronson. Actually, I feel like I saw
the double deck wing. They started it. Everybody snapped, including Horner, and everybody
it's
was
Braun.
like, "Oh, what
it's
the hell?"
Braun, not Bronson.
It's not that.
Not the 80s star. Not the 80s star.
The owner.
The owner is Braun.
No. The whole
Braun.
Virgin Atlantic, the Virgin guy.
Oh, Richard Branson. Richard
Branson.
Yeah,
Isn't that the guy who's
Branson? Yeah.
I'm sorry, Branson.
He bought in. Yeah, he bought in.
Because I remember now watching a clip on that, and he was
bought
like,
into
that
it?
curly blonde hair guy going nuts with the
He
Braun
bought the team, right?
When he had the white and the neon green. But Braun, I thought was the whole him. I thought that was his whole thing.
No, he came.
I think Braun. That's the guy who ran in the 90s. Braun. That's the dude. Now I got it. Braun is the dude who ran the Ferraris during the the 90s when they were fucking just dominate and just show up and win. And they're like, you want to win this time? All right, you go ahead. You go.
That was the white, black, and that green livery, that neon livery, no?
Yeah, the Braun GP livery. Yeah, mostly white. They didn't even have that many sponsors, dude. They just showed up.
It was just very, very simple.
Yeah.
No one even took them seriously, man. They started winning. And they got lucky a couple times, and then they won. And that one was like, oh, shit. And then they put the double deck wing on the back, which nobody had.
Double diffuser. Double diffuser.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Technical director.
Double diffuser.
And they all teams snapped. They flipped out. They're like all protesting it. Like, oh, it's illegal. And then everyone started.
Wait, so you guys are talking about like where like the DRS flap opens up, basically?
Yeah, they had like two.
So were they like pioneers in something like that innovation?
They innovated that, and it worked. And they applied it. This little ass team with no money.
A couple other teams did it too, but they did it better. And then the other teams that didn't do it, and it was a good thing because they had. Sorry, gonna be technical. That's the first time they did the KER system, which is like the Connecticut Energy Recovery System or some shit. Mm-hmm. And they're like, "Fuck it, we're not even gonna run it." They just stayed with the engine because it was like new, and they're just like, "We're gonna stay with what we know." And they ran the car without it, and they were able to.
Before Virgin Atlantic, the Virgin guy came in. They had like 3 months of like payroll. They said on this documentary for like the entire company. They were about to shut down. Like they didn't even know what to do. It was scrambling.
Yeah, we gotta watch this.
How do you even get approved? How do you even get approved?
No, Honda dropped out. Honda, just watch it. We gotta go back to this. Let's watch it all together, and then we could go talk about it. Getting back to the teams, if we go down, so we talked about McLaren. Who else? Alpine, we talked about, right? The bullshit, the two Frenchies, enough. We want to talk a little about Aston?
What?
No?
Stroll with his
you want to talk about Mike Crack?
Broken hands? His broken hands, and they marketed that whole thing.
Wasn't Stroll the one who veered into Alonso last season and made him airborne in the Alpine? Wasn't that him?
Yeah,
and he finished the race, and now they're teammates.
In Coda. In Coda.
Bro,
he moved mad late. He moved mad late, and he just got fucking launched from his tire.
Yeah,
and he still finished the race. I don't know how to do that.
And because his name is not Stroll or Strulovich, but I just don't see.
It's Strulovich.
Whatever it is, my feelings towards this guy. The only reason he has a seat is because of Daddy. I think he's pointless.
I don't think that's his dad.
A terrible driver.
I really think that's not. I think that's. I don't even think that's his dad. I think that's Lou. I think that's Lou Ferrigno's lost long child. If you look at Lou Ferrigno and look at Lance Stroll, bro, dude, it's the Hulk's bastard son. That dude is Lou Ferrigno, Lance Ferrigno, right there. Because there's no effing way.
There's no weekends.
Lance is a step up from Yuki.
They made him a story. They made him like this, like broke his hands. He's driving with a fractured wrist or whatever. His hands are broken, and he's really doing it. And he made, what was he like in the top 10 at that point? And they like
I think he finished 4th. I think that was the best I think because the car was so damn good, or 4th or 5th. Yeah, the car was fucking phenomenal, dude.
Was great.
Yeah. I think he finished 4th. I think it was Alonso was P2. Leclerc DNF'd.
Yeah,
and that got him up to. So it's so hard to talk about it now because it's such a long season, and to remember this shit.
But to think that Alonso still couldn't win a Grand Prix in those early stages of the season with that car, like it shows you a lot, bro. Like fucking Red Bull is really strong. Yeah, Red Bull really had their shit together.
They were holding back.
Jesus,
they were holding that shit back, dude. They were like, yo, not too by much though. Like not by that much. Like just a little. Just give them a little hope. Like, and then you could take off. It's ridiculous.
I think these teams have their errors, right? Like they have every box checked. Right now, Red Bull just checks every box, every single one. It's their time right now. It's their time. I don't know. Mm-hmm. People got to really work hard to really come close to them going forward. But right now, it's just they got everything just on lock, strategy, fucking.
And they've been working on the new car.
The car, the engine, the fucking.
They've been.
God.
Mm-hmm.
The driver.
But they have regulations on how they could work on these new cars, don't they? Like there's like time limits.
Yeah, like everything else.
Windows.
No, they're trying to do that for the the 2026, they just passed the rule or whatever that they don't want people to start working on the 2026 because there's going to be new regulations until a certain point. I think until the middle of 2025, until 2025, I think. But who gives a shit? But it's funny because fucking Lewis goes up there. It's like they should put a limit because Red Bull stopped fucking with this year's car a while back. Now they're just moved on to the new car. So that car is going to be phenomenal right off the gate because they started earlier than everybody. And then Lewis is like, this is not fair. It's like, dude, who the hell are you talking to right now? Your team was demolishing people for 7 years.
Please.
7 straight years. Everybody.
Cry me a
I don't
river,
like the whole domination of Formula One.
Cry me a
exactly.
river.
Oh,
no, he tried to get people on his side, I think, just by doing that. I feel like, because he has a strong, following, man. He is trying to get votes back, I guess, because
those people are delusional.
No, but listen, you're Lewis Hamilton.
Fans.
You're on top for that long, you know what I mean? He should have, came out like that, but it really made him look bad. It definitely made him look bad.
It's like who you talking to?
Just like Toto, but look what happened to Toto. Like you were saying before, bro, they cracked. They fucking cracked.
What are you so upset about? You just won 7 times.
That's what I'm saying. And everybody else is humble, trying to win
get a
one.
Life,
and,
Please.
Yeah.
He's depressed. This guy's in a depression. You see him on these interviews, and he's just like, yeah, man. He's all fucking. Bro, he's 7-time world champion. Just chill out for a second. Yeah. Work on your car.
I love it, dude. I love when it comes back to it. It's like welcome to F1. The guy has been in a championship threatening car every year. He joined the McLarens and he almost won the championship. He's won a race every year until last year when he didn't win. Like he's always had a good car, and now he's got to deal with the fact that you don't have the best car and see what you're made of. He's still, I give it to him. He's still one of the best drivers in the game, in the history.
He did. He did his thing this
season. Car makes a huge difference. You're just fucking punching air right now. If your car is shit. And
they still took second.
And then of course he won at Bottas. They still finished
second. They're right there.
But that's because Ferrari. But that's because Ferrari. They're not right there.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like
nobody's right there.
I feel like Mercedes didn't even have that strong of a season. I
feel like they're still there, like one of the top teams.
Because they pick up the slack where Ferrari basically leaves it. It's like they have 2 cars that finish consistently, and they're going to be both in the points. Even if Lewis is 14th with 10 laps to go, he's going to find a way to make it in the points. It's just natural, because he's that type of driver.
Yeah. And I hated that. I hated when he comes back in Brazil and everybody's like, oh my God, Lewis, he's just flying through the field. It's just amazing skills. Like, no, it's because his car is 1 second a lap faster than the next best guy. Yeah. I just hated that. They're just anyway.
And there's been a couple of races. Yeah. There were a couple of races where Russell benefited from the safety car, just out of luck. You know what I mean? I feel like Mercedes didn't have that great of a season, but
definitely didn't have luck.
Yeah, you don't have that much competition.
Minus 1,000 luck for Ferrari. They didn't even get it. He couldn't even get an ounce of
Ferrari's not giving anybody competition, man. Yeah.
Oh, how do you have 2 cars go 1 and 2 in Monaco and fuck that up? They're 1 and 2, and they brought them in. And they're like, go in. No, stay up. No, come in. And they brought it was such a bad clusterfuck. Ferrari's
sound like a typical Italian.
That was so bad.
Italian party right there.
That was a job. It's hard to believe.
We're hitting that hour mark. We just hit the hour mark. Our first hour, boys. First hour is in the books.
Nice.
I gotta say,
wrap it up.
All right. Wrap it up.
It's been fun.
You're gonna have your thing.